It's so easy to fall in love. It's so easy to fall in love. People tell me love's for fools, so here I go, breaking all of the rules. It seems so easy, so easy, oh, so goddamn easy, so easy. It seems so easy, so easy, so easy, so easy. Where you're concerned, my heart has learned that it's so easy to fall in love. It's so easy to fall in love. Hey, how you doing? Justin here. Today we're checking out It's So Easy by Buddy Holly. Really cool little lead guitar things going on in this, and the solo, which we're going to be checking out in this lesson a little later. So as usual, we're going to be starting off by looking at the chords. Real simple, just 4 down strums to the bar. A lot of these chord changes are every 2 beats, so we'll just be doing 2 strums on each chord. We're starting off on an A, and we go A to E to D to E, A to D to E to A. Okay, it's a really important sequence, that one, because it's used underneath the little intro solo and for the verses. So one more time through that, it's A, E, D, E, and then A, D, E, A. One more time playing it, 3, 4. A to E to D to E, A to D to E to A. Ba 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 da 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 na na ba da na na ba da da ba 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 da 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 ba ba ba. People E me D's for E, so A R D. Break an E of the A. Now we're in the bridge. D chord for 2 bars. Then going to A chord for 2 bars. And going to D chord for 2 bars. Easy, seems so easy to B7 to E has learned that A to E to D to E to A to D to E to A. Okay, so when we get to the guitar solo, we've got the same sequence as that little intro first, and then another section. So the guitar solo all of the way through will be A, E, D, E, to A, D, to E, to A. Then it goes to D chord for 2 bars, and back to A, A7 if you feel like it, then to D chord for 2 bars, to B7, to E. I'm hoping many of you will recognize that second section of the solo as the same chords as the bridge. So really you've only got those couple of sequences to remember, but it's important that you get them right. So let's go to a close-up now and check out the intro and then the main solo. Okay, that's the intro thing going on. So we're starting off on the and after 3. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. That's how it's starting off. And it's the 5th fret on the 2nd string, followed by the 7th fret, followed by the 5th fret on the thinner string. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. Important to get that right, that you come in at the right beat. Now, the next bar, we're starting off with the little finger on the 8th fret of the thinner string. We play it, and then we play it again and do a little flick off. So it's going 8th fret, 7th fret, 5th fret to the 8th fret on the 2nd string. And then we've got this interesting thing where we're playing the 5th fret on the 2nd string and the open E string at the same time. Okay, that's on beats 3 and 4 and. Then we're going to put our 3rd and 4th fingers in the 7th fret on the 3rd and 2nd strings and move it up 2 frets. So 1 and 2 and. Okay, up to there. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and. Okay, one more time. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So we've got that same and 4 and riff going into the next bar, which is this. Little bit weird. Starting off with the 8th fret on the thinner string and 7th fret on the second string with a little bit of a bend on it to the 5th fret on the first string and the second string. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1. Okay, so just third finger is barring the second and third strings. You could use the third and fourth fingers if you want, but I tend to use the third finger, second finger, third finger, third finger, third finger. Just be careful not to be playing the thinner string. It just sounds a little bit weird. So even though you're doing a little bar, you only want to be playing the second and third strings. So from that little one with a bend on it, 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 3, 4. So from the 9th fret, 7th fret, then 5th fret on the second string and 6th fret on the third string, and then put your third finger down on the 7th fret of the 4th string and play that along with the C sharp note, which is the 6th fret of the 3rd string. So let's have that intro all of the way through now. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 3, 4. Okay, the rhythm of that little bit at the end there. 1 E and a 2 and 3, 4. 1 E and a 2 and 3, 4 would be the proper count. Again, you just generally those kind of riffs, you're better off, you know, listening to it and learning it by ear. But if you want the count, that's what the count is. So it does that at the intro, but then it does it again as the first part of the solo, and then the solo continues to this. Okay, so we've got lots of interesting things going on here. We're starting off right up at the 10th fret. It's a little D triad, top part of our kind of D bar chord, right the way up there. So we hold that down, we play the first string, second string, third string, then little finger or third finger on the 12th fret of the second string, then back to the 10th fret on the second string, then play the third string, second string, third string. So that first bar. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay? Then we've got 2 semitone bends, like half fret bends on the 12th fret, 12th fret, 10th fret, 12th fret on the thinner string, 10, half fret bend, and back to the 12 again. So that second bar, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. One more time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Next bar. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So this is starting off at the 10th fret on the second string. Then sliding up to the 14th fret with your third finger on the second string still, then folding it over to play the 14th fret on the thinner string, 12th fret on the thinner string, 13th fret, 14th fret on the second string, and back to the 12th fret on the thinner string. The next bar, we've got 3 semitone bends on from the 14th fret, 1 and 2, and is just the 14th fret regularly, then 12th fret, 14th fret on the second string, that is 12th fret, 10th fret. So that bar, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Next bar, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Back to our little D triad. 1 and 2 and is the little bend. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, make sure you get the rhythm of that right. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Next bar, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, slide up to the 11th fret on the 3rd string, and 2 and is 10, 12, 10 on the 2nd string, then 12th fret semitone bend, 3, release, and 4 and. Okay, that bar again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. It's a little B out of a B7 chord. 9th fret, 8th fret, 7th fret on the 4th string, 3rd string, 2nd string, not all ringing out together. Then a little slide up from the 9th to the 10th. Then 9th fret, 7th fret. And then to get out of the solo back into the rhythm, we've got this, which is open E string, thicker string, 7th fret on the 5th string, flicking off to the open string. Then the open E again, 5th fret, flicking off to the open string, open E, 4th fret, flicking off to the open string, open E, 2nd fret. Okay, really cool little riff that. So let's do the whole solo now, nice and slow, all the way from the top. So up on the D chord there. Here we go. 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and. Well, I hope you enjoy that solo. I think it's a real cracker, really nice one to get under your fingers. Not too difficult and fairly easy rhythmically, which is what a lot of kind of intermediate guitar players struggle with, is the rhythm of the solo. And speaking of rhythm, I think I remembered halfway through that I forgot to talk about the strumming and the rhythm for the main kind of chord sequences. So we were just looking at just doing really simple. And actually the rhythm for the actual song is pretty simple. As far as I can tell, it's just 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So but one thing I just want to point out here is when you're doing that kind of strumming pattern, very often when you've got the chord changes, you will strum the open strings kind of by accident, but it happens on the original recordings too. So if you're accidentally doing that, don't be fussed about it, you know, and think that you've got to make the chord change fast enough. If I slowed that strumming right down, it'd be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. I'm kind of exaggerating it now, right? So it's not that obvious, but definitely there's a bit. It's like a little lurch into the chords, and it actually sounds kind of cool. So it's one of those things that I think a lot of kind of beginners and intermediate guitar players struggle with is, oh, I'm not making my chord changes fast enough to be able to play the tune properly, when actually if they listen to the original recordings closely, they'll find that there's little mistakes in it. No, it's not mistakes, it's just the way it happens, you know, and it's okay for it to happen that way. So anyway, great tune this one. I hope you really enjoy it, and I'll see you for plenty more lessons very soon. You take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.